Hello. This is a real issue I wanted to cover. I just realized recently, like enough to articulate it and express it. Expansion of understanding. Period. The expansion of understanding itself. The pre-language function within everybody. And basically how people basically just put a lid on it. They don't expand anymore in understanding. Big picture type stuff, to say it plainly. Understanding expands naturally through living. At some point, most people place a lid on it. The lid feels like completion from the inside. And what is that? A societal or cultural role. It's like if somebody finds a calling in being a mechanic, they feel fulfilled, complete. They don't need to search the world anymore for a purpose. They found their societal or cultural purpose. So understanding only expands by how much it is received and accepted and able to be received. There's no natural expansion of understanding life anymore other than when life hands something to you. Now, I'm not talking about living here. I'm talking about life. The very foundation in which existence even is and flows. And that is stabilization, not wholeness. You become stabilized, where you're, okay, this is my life, they call it. This is my living. This is my way of life. This is my way of living. And then that's it. I mean, I am not knocking anything. I'm just simply stating there is so much more. That's all. I'm not saying, oh, you're wrong for doing. People live however you all want. You are your own individual existences. Nothing and nobody except the one that created it has a right to say over anything. Period. Not me. Not for anybody else. That's it. I even only dictate myself so much because I didn't create myself. I didn't create my existence, so I'm not the dictator of it, found it in that way. So it's like, why? How is there not more to understand? That there's so much more, and people just put a lid on it because they found stabilization. It's like, hey, that's okay, but I am simply expressing there is so much more. And some people, like me, they don't place a lid on it. They keep understanding. They keep going, they keep going, they keep going. Expansion continues into life itself, not just living. That's the process. Most people don't stop expanding because they failed. They stop because what they had was enough to live. And there is nothing wrong with that. I just never stopped expanding. So what I understand is to life itself. Because I never stopped analyzing until I got to a freaking point. Absence or presence. Which I've already explained all those in other videos. I'm not going to sit here and go over it all over again, or what life is, the flow of it, the endless moment of the current moment, that which is now. That's all other videos. All I'm simply stating is that difference, and that I never stopped, and anybody who doesn't stop understanding that information itself is worth sharing. Period. That's the entire reason for every video, everything I say, that in itself. Because there is so much more. And if everybody just comfortably stops short, which is, hey, nobody can tell anybody else how to live. But there is nothing wrong with sharing information, wisdom, and understanding. And that is all I'm doing. By simply stating, as myself, as a human being, I have never stopped expanding my understanding. Like there are people that are comfortable in, like, say, a small community. Their understanding of life in general stops at the limitations of that community. Whereas somebody's, it's larger and larger and larger. It keeps expanding until that lid gets put on it. People will understand their community, their town, their county, the generalization, Northeast PA, whatever you want to call it, for me, the state, the country, the continent, it just keeps expanding. And then you get humanity. People are concentrating on differences in race, stuff like that. It's like there's always more, and people are just stopping at limitations. Yeah, there are different races within, differences in humanity, but guess what? Humanity is singular. One. Humanity is the collective. We are all human beings. One. You see how that limiting that expansion, and how much more there really is if you just keep going? If you don't identify people by society and cultures and all that limited understanding, if you just see an individual existence that's physically present as a singular human being, then that is what you will see. Not this person is that, this person is that, this category, that category. No. One category, human, one being, singular existence. Simplify it, understand it down to its singularization, and there's no nonsense involved. How can you hate humanity, being a human, logically, without delusion? You can't. You can't. But if you downplay it and you focus on division and absence of life, what do you get? Endless nonsense. Which understanding should be shared more? I got my answer. And that's all I'm doing. That's all I'm going to do. Sharing understanding. That's all. Period. Nothing more, nothing less. Sharing understanding of life. An understanding of anything regarding life. Not for me, but because, again, look, one species, humanity, one individual person. Absence of life does not operate there. Only presence. That understanding is worth sharing. Especially if it's not widely known or taught on the regular, because it's not a societal or cultural false foundation. Foundation built by, you know what, I'm not going to go there yet. Life is the only foundation to build upon. We are humans. We are individual existences created through life. The process and the flow of that which is life. Because if it wasn't present, we wouldn't exist. Hello, we wouldn't be. Presence we are, absence we are not. How is that not where to build understanding on? There is no other foundation. And that is worth sharing.